While digging the foundation, several old men unearthed a blue and white porcelain basin filled with a nest of snake eggs, their shells gleaming with a faint blue light. There were at least 20 or 30 eggs. The laborers, startled, stepped back and shouted, "Old man, smash it! Keeping these things is bad luck." But Old Man Lee, with a clean hand, carefully picked up the basin and gently placed it in a corner of the courtyard wall. He took off his outer garment and carefully covered the basin before saying, "It's all fate. They haven't even hatched yet. Why harm them? I'll just move the foundation 3 feet to the side." The neighbors all said he was foolish, delaying the construction for a nest of snake eggs. Old Man Lee just smiled and didn't argue. After the house was built, Old Man Lee's son, Deju, and daughter-in-law, Gue Xiang, moved back from the city, ostensibly to take care of their father, but in reality, they coveted the newly built brick and tile house. Deju lost money doing small business in the city and was worried about having nowhere to stay. At first, Gue Xiang would pretend to be nice, serving him tea and water and acting all warm and friendly. But as time went on, her true colors were revealed. The old man ate 3 meals a day for nothing and couldn't even fetch water. Gue Xiang would make a ruckus in the kitchen, hurling insults and veiled accusations. Deju would sit in the house smoking his pipe, not uttering a sound. Old Man Lee wasn't deaf. He heard every word and felt a chill run down his spine. He silently picked up his signboard and went to the village well to fetch water himself. The man, over 60 years old, carried 2 buckets of water back, his shoulders chafed and red. Gue Xiang became even more ruthless. First, she forced Old Man Lee to live in the woodshed, which was drafty and leaky, making him cough from the cold at night. Later, she wouldn't even give him enough to eat. Old Man Lee could only drink half a bowl of porridge at each meal, and he was so hungry that his stomach was practically sticking to his back. Uncle Zhang, an old man in the village, couldn't bear to see Li Laohan suffer, so he secretly slipped him 2 steamed buns. Li Laohan took them, tears streaming down his face, lamenting, "What sins have I committed to raise such an unfilial son?" When Gue Xiang found out, she stood at the door, bent over, and cursed for half an hour, scolding Uncle Zhang for meddling and Li Laohan for siding with outsiders. Uncle Zhang stomped his feet in anger, but couldn't bring himself to argue with a woman. That day, Gue Xiang, annoyed by Li Laohan's presence in the yard, pointed outside and yelled, "You think you're so capable? Go beg for food. Don't waste our food." Deju finally spoke up, siding with his wife. "Dad, why don't you go stay at the village's East End's Earth God Temple for a few days? We'll bring you back when Gue Xiang's anger subsides." Looking at his son's pathetic state, Li Laohan's heart turned cold. He said nothing, rolled up his tattered quilt, and walked out the door. The Earth God Temple was dilapidated and small, drafty on all sides. Old Man Lee huddled behind the statue, listening to the wind outside. He reflected on his life, how he had scrimped and saved in his youth to send his son to school, and emptied his savings to pay for his son's wedding, only to end up like this. Tears streamed down his face as he drifted off to sleep. He didn't know how much time had passed when he vaguely heard a hissing sound, like something crawling on the ground. Opening his eyes, he saw moonlight streaming through the broken window, revealing a large snake coiled on the ground, its body of vibrant green, gleaming in the moonlight. The snake was as thick as a bowl, its eyes like two emeralds, silently watching him. Old Man Lee was startled and instinctively recoiled. But the snake didn't attack him. Instead, it slowly lowered its head and spoke in a human voice. My benefactor, do not be afraid. Old Man Lee's eyes widened, thinking he was dreaming. The snake continued. 3 years ago, you saved my litter of children when you were digging the foundation. Do you remember? Old Man Lee's mind went blank for a moment. He remembered the nest of snake eggs. I am the green snake immortal of this mountain, cultivated for 500 years. Those eggs are my bloodline. Back then, your kindness not only spared them, but also protected them by moving the foundation. I have always remembered this kindness. The green snake spoke, tears welling in its eyes. My benefactor, I saw you suffer so much, driven from your home by your unfilial daughter-in-law. Today, I have come to seek justice for you. Old Man Lee hurriedly waved his hands. No, no, those are my sons after all. The green snake sighed. My benefactor is merciful, but good and evil are rewarded accordingly, and the principles of heaven are clear. Don't worry, I won't take their lives. I just want them to know that there is cause and effect in this world. With that, the green snake raised its head and let out a low laugh. The sound wasn't loud, but it was extremely penetrating, causing the entire village to tremble slightly. Soon after, countless snakes emerged from the grass, crevices in the rocks, and under the tree roots all around. Black, white, spotted, green, the snakes swarmed densely, like rivers converging before the local temple. Under the moonlight, the snakes were layered upon each other, a terrifying sight. A green snake said to Old Man Lee, my benefactor, rest here, I'll be right back. The swarm of snakes marched off towards Old Man Lee's house. Meanwhile, Big Pig and Gue Xiong were fast asleep in their main room that night. Gue Xiong had a dream in which a giant snake coiled around her neck, choking her. She struggled desperately, then woke up with a start, only to find a small green snake truly coiled around her neck. Terrified, she screamed and tumbled out of bed, scrambling outside. Pushing open the door, she saw the yard teeming with snakes. On the rafters, on the windowsills, by the water vat, everywhere, hissing and flicking their tongues. Gue Xiong was terrified, collapsing to the ground, trembling uncontrollably. Big Pig also ran out, and seeing this scene, his legs went weak, and he knelt on the ground with a thud. At this moment, the green forest serpent slowly poked its head out from the courtyard wall, looking down at them. Its voice rang out like a great bell. Old Man Lee, when digging the foundation, found a nest of snake eggs but did not harm them. He protected them when moving the house foundation. This is a great act of kindness. You too, as his children, are unfilial and negligent, abusing the old man and mistreating the woman. This is intolerable. Today I will spare your lives, but you have 3 days to bring Old Man Lee back to the main house and take good care of him. If you show any further disrespect, my million snake descendants will ensure you never have a peaceful night. After saying this, the green serpent laughed loudly, and the swarm of snakes retreated like the tide, disappearing without a trace in the blink of an eye. Gui Xiang and Big Pig lay on the ground, unable to get up for a long time. They looked at each other, their faces pale, and dared not show the slightest disrespect. Before dawn the next day, Big Pig ran to the local temple, knelt, and kowtowed 3 times to Old Manly. "Father, your son is unfilial. Please come home with me." Gui Xiang followed, her face bruised and battered from the previous night's fright. Kneeling on the ground, she cried, "Father, I was wrong. I'll never do it again. Please forgive me. You are so kind and magnanimous." Old Manly looked at them in silence for a long time, but finally followed them home. From then on, Gui Xiang was like a different person, serving him tea and water attentively, never daring to utter a single complaint. Big Pig also found a job in the village, working diligently and no longer being lazy. Old Manly moved back into the main house, spending his days basking in the sun in the yard, growing vegetables, and living a comfortable life, his complexion becoming rosy. He would often go to the corner of the yard wall, where he had specially built a small mound and planted some flowers and grass as a memorial to the nest of snake eggs. When the villagers heard about this, they were all deeply moved. Zhang Shu told everyone he met, "See, good deeds are rewarded and evil deeds are punished. People should accumulate virtue." Later, a severe drought struck, and the entire area within 100 miles yielded nothing. Only the old well at Old Man Lee's house saw its water level rise instead of fall, and the fields cracked. The villagers said it was the Green Serpent Fairy repaying a debt of gratitude. Old Man Lee lived to be over 80 years old and died peacefully. It is said that on the night he passed away, someone saw a large green serpent coiled on his roof, bowing 3 times towards the east before disappearing into the dawn. Old Manly kept the blue and white porcelain basin, instructing De Zhu on his deathbed to take good care of it, as it was a blessing for the family and could not be lost. De Zhu tearfully agreed. Later, the porcelain basin was passed down for several generations, and the descendants of the Li family all remembered one saying, "Do good deeds and don't worry about the future." Between heaven and earth, there is something to be proud of, and what is praised is the heart of the people.